Hello everyone. Let's start today's session with a new wallpaper that my KD desktop brings me today. And we are now continuing without any further delay to our topic, the usual thing that we study in this series, JavaScript, using the website geek4geek.org. So let's start by opening Firefox session, pinning it to the left side of the screen, searching for Geek for Geeks. Give it time to load, and after that we this is our favorite language, JavaScript. Navigating to I don't believe that we have just finished the proxy. Now time to start the JavaScript reflect. So let's bring our mouse and start with JavaScript reflect. This is another a new thing that I haven't heard. And before beginning, let's now open our most favorite note-taking app ever made, Visual Studio Code. And here we have our notes, which has been around 255 lines long. If we ignore the if we count the spaces in between, but still 255 lines is a very large and thick note. And here is our playground in which we gonna learn the codes. I think a new code was being left unhandled. Yes, the topic was handler. Get function, target properties, custom behavior here. Okay, I think we have learned about how the proxy work, but we haven't seen how the handler work. But right now I'm not in the mood to continue that. So let's start fresh with the new topic, JavaScript Reflect from now on. So JavaScript Reflect is a built-in object that gives access to other elements for interceptable operation. What's an interceptable operation? Let's copy it. Open a ChatGPT session as well with the enlarged font size for my viewer. Stay log out. Interceptable operations in JS. What is it? In JavaScript, interceptable operations refer to certain action or method that can be overridden or intercepted using constructors like proxies. Object.define property. Here's a brief overview of the concept. Proxies are powerful feature in JavaScript that create a wrapper on enabling to intercept and redefine fundamental operations for that object. There's a property layer lookup, assignment enumeration, function invocation, etc. Okay. I think after yesterday lesson, these code seems much more manageable to me. We are defining an target object with a message hello world, and now we are defining a handler that gets the target with its properties. Properties belongs to message in this scenario. Let me open my annotation. How would I do that? Yes. And this property actually means the message. Okay. For property in target, for message in target, return target prop. Okay. It's simply returning the message. Next, else return property doesn't exist. If a message is not found, then only then this code will be run. And proxy dot non-existent, proxy dot message. Okay, so here instead of non-existence, we can write anything. I don't know how, but this panes look so smooth. I love it. Now let's remove it. Time to move to object or define property. This method allows to define and modify a property directly on an object. You can intercept property access by defining custom getter and setter. Okay. Object.observe. It was once available, was deprecated and no longer part of JavaScript standard. You can use proxies for similar functionality. Okay. Never mind. Let's move to reflect. This object can be used to check whether an object has particular property or to change or add new property to existing object. This object cannot be explicitly created using the new keyword and we cannot call it a function. Okay. Reflect has a set of static function to perform operations. Syntax is reflect.static function. Okay. This object does not have fixed parameter. It depends upon the static function it used with. The return function depends, the return value depends on the function being used. This example uses reflect method to check and add properties in a particular object. Okay. So we are creating a variable with details or properties in it. Okay. Console.log reflect.has details course. Okay. We are passing the variable as a parameter and now the annotation feels annoying to me because I have to trigger it every time. Okay. And I think this is the scenario where the another annotation app will help. So never mind. So we are passing the details as a parameter. Okay. And we are checking for the course. If it exists, then output this name Raj, course DSA, and website Geek for Geek, and rating 5. So it will what to say vomit all the details of the if something exists in the exist as property in the variable, the console.log will vomit all its but only if it has, I guess. Reflect.set details rating and 5 console.log details. Okay. Okay, so here we are only getting true as output, not everything but only true. Let's try another one, another handler. Okay. Gromit M6 is a small tool to make annotations on a screen, main used to making presentation of some application. You have to move the mouse pointer to the okay. Next, toggle painting F9 and to clear screen F9, shift F9. Okay, so now we are restricted to a very simple shortcut. F9 and shift F9. And to undo, we have to write F8. Good. Next, show again on startup. Okay, no problem. And if I press F9, I think I can annotate on a screen and hopefully it must be visible on the painting too. Let me guess. Yes, it is visible. And if I press F9 again, and we are toggling it, and if I want to clear the screen, I just have to press shift and F9. That's great. That's the power of open source. And next, actually that's the power of the Grompit MPX application, not just open source. Open source is the entirely powerful. We will talk on that someday later. In this example uses the reflect function to construct new object. Okay, so we are using a new class details constructor name and course. Okay, this dot name. So here the this keyword implies this constructor I think this keyword implies the details class. The name is name and this course is course dot get full details, which is a function return. this name, this course. Okay. Var person Shobit at DSA. Var enroll a variable reflect dot construct details of and person. Okay, I see. One thing I also see that Shift and F9 also triggers the developer mode in Firefox. Okay, is there any method to change that? I think only F9 triggers the developer mode in Firefox, I guess. No, Shift and F9 triggers the developer mode in Firefox. Okay, one second. Edit configuration. Can I do it? No, actually, it's not opening. Edit configuration. No, it's not opening. Introduction. Okay. Okay. Here it is saying that no other application uses the F9 and F8 key. How to stop triggering developer mode while pressing Shift F9 in Firefox. Okay. The only to do disable is Control Shift W shortcut to close a window. Mm, okay, I think that's not a much of a deal right now. So if F9 triggers this, one second, Shift F9 triggered this. What I can do is detach this and bury it somewhere in the screen, so it won't bother again and again. Let's see, and let's continue with our syllabus. Sorry for the deviation, guys. Let's move to the our topic for the day. If I copy this and paste it over, okay, so we are defining a class in which constructor is a function that allows the properties of an class to be created. So in a constructor function, we are passing two parameters, name and course. This dot name, this dot course. So this keyword represents the main properties of the details. So this dot name equal to name, this dot course equal to course. Get full detail. Full details is a function that returns this dot name and this dot course. So it is a kind of f string in Python, like an f string in Python when we write it with using backticks. So it allows the function to be called by using a dollar sign, and this dot name and this dot course. Okay, And the reason behind writing this get function inside of class, because we want to inherit the properties of the class. Okay, now we have a person with two variable with an array. Now we have a variable with an array, okay, with two items in it, Shobit and DSA. So now if I want to enroll this, we are using a reflect with its construct method to fill in the details and person. Okay, so the construct thing takes two things as parameter. The first details the class in which I want to construct it, and then the what we want to actually construct. So it takes the first class as a parameter, and then second the person as parameter. Okay, now console.log enroll is instance of details. Let's run this. First we have to navigate to JavaScript folder, then run the test file. And yes, instance of detail. So will the enroll variable becomes an instance of detail? So here we are getting true. So yes, it indeed becomes the instance of detail. And now we if I console log the enroll variable, then we are getting an object just like the object we defined here. I think class. Is this a class? Is this an object? Difference between class and object. What's that? Class and object. I think object is just a simple data type, but class is actual the methodology of definition of data. Let's say in JavaScript and many other programming language, classes and objects are fundamental concept of object oriented programming, but they serve different function. A class is a blueprint or template or the methodology of creating object. It defines the properties and method from the object are created from the class. Syntax in JavaScript, classes are defined using the class keyword. Purpose, classes encapsulate data and behavior in a reusable way, promoting code organization and inheritance. Okay, object is an instance of class. It specifies a specific entity with its own state, properties and behavior, which is methods. A creation, object are created from class using the new keyword by directly defining them. And purpose, object hold actual data and can use methods and can use the methods defined in their class. So the enroll becomes an object of the class detail. And I think this statement is my golden statement. So enroll becomes an statement, enrolls become an object of the class detail. Okay. So class is a blueprint or template, is an object is an instance created from that blueprint. Class defines a structure and behavior. Object contains a specific data and can perform action defined by its class. Class can be reused to create multiple object. Each object holds its unique state but shares the structure and behavior from its class. Okay, that's all. Time to move to reflect. What we are getting next? Output. This example uses reflect method to freeze an array so that new element cannot be added to it. So we are defining an empty array, reflect dot set array. We are passing this variable in it. At 0 index, we are entering hello. At first, welcome. So now is extensible. Okay. Then we are going to private its extension, and then we are going to say, and we are okay, taking this code to our playground by copying it and pasting it here. And if I just copy this line and paste it here, just in order to check whether after you passing this value, sorry, it uses double slash, after passing this, whether array remains extensible. Let's run it. And yes, here you can see it gets true, because when this line is running, and it is getting false when this line is running. So after, if we use this method or property reflect.prevent extension, then we are preventing the array from being updated. Good. Next, and I think we finished the JavaScript reflect, and let's have a quiz with it. Stay log out, copy the prompt, move to our actual chat GPT, load a new chat, paste it, and run. Run, rabbit, run. What is the primary purpose of the reflect object in JavaScript? To create new object, provide method for interceptable JavaScript O operations, handle error, manipulate DOM. B. B would be the right answer. The primary purpose is to provide method for interceptable JavaScript operations. The reflect object can be used to redefine the behavior of fundamental operations like property, lookup, and assignment. Yes, we can. So I would write true. Next, name one method provided by reflect object and describe briefly what it does. One method. I would pass reflect dot prevent extension. Prevent extensions. SION, prevent extensions. This will prevent updating of the object. It tied on, I think, tied to data. I think data would be a nice word. You're on right track. Prevent is to prevent new properties from being added to an object. However, it doesn't prevent updating existing property or deleting properties. Okay. Okay, so it just prevent new properties from being added to an object. Okay, there I learned a new thing, and I think I should add this to my notes. Next, which of the following method can be used to determine if an object is extensible? I think A would be the right answer. True and false. The reflect object is a part of JavaScript ES5 specification. I will have no words with it, so I will write simply false or true. Totally guess. Let's true with ChatGPT this time. Totally guess. Let's see what it will output. Good guess, but it's actually false. The reflect object would be introduced in ES6, not in ES5. Okay. What does the reflect.apply method do? Have we heard about this method yet? Let's see. Apply. Search for this. Apply. Okay. Now it is a similar read, but we haven't heard about this. Okay. We have completed list of Java to check. Please go to reflect reference, and I think we get apply here. Calls a function using specified argument. Okay, but what I don't know. No problem. The reflect allows you to call a target function with a specified this value and arguments provide array. It essentially act like function dot prototype dot apply method. Okay. Starting a new ChatGPT session because I want a practical use. Show me a basic practical use of reflect dot apply method in JS. Call a function with a specific this value. Okay. Function add a plus b, return a plus b. Const arguments 5 comma 3. Const result equal to reflect dot apply. Add null arguments. Okay. This add function take two parameters and return their sum. Arguments. The array args holds the number you want to add. Reflect dot apply. The first argument is the function you want to call. Okay. The second argument is this value, null in this case. And the third argument is an array of arguments, args. Try it without null this time. Let's see without null what it would be lead to. Okay, const calculator value 0, add function a and b. This dot value adds to a plus b. Okay, return this value. Okay, reflect calculator args. Using reflector you are called the add method and why we are using the calculator here. The first argument is the add method of the calculator object. The second argument is the calculator object itself, which sets this to calculator. Okay. The third argument is the array of the argument. The add method modifies the calculator dot value and returns the updated value. In this case, reflect dot apply allows you to call the method while maintaining the correct context. In this case, reflect dot apply allows you to call the method while maintaining the correct context. What would have happened if calculator is missed from the second parameter? Calculator class. What is a class? One second. Calculator object, not class. Param stands for parameter, for those who don't know. If you omit the calculator object from the second parameter of the report, this context inside them will default to undefined in strict mode or global object. Example, window in browser in non-strict mode. Without this, okay. Output not a number and throws an error in a strict mode, and this will output to 0. Okay. Now I feel like I know little bit about this thing. Let's move to next question. Which of the following can the reflect object not do? Define new property, retrieve prototype of an object, get the property descriptor of a property, change the type of object. Which of the following can reflect object not do? Define new property, retrieve new property, get the property descriptor, and change the type of object. You tell me, please. Change the type. The reflect property cannot change the type of object. It provides method for reflection and manipulation, but does not alter the inherent type of an object. Okay. To assign a value to object. Okay. What does the get method do? Retrieve. A reflect object can only be used with object created via class syntax. No, because we have just seen that this can be used to alter the value in arrays as well. No, I think we are good with the quizzes that we have already done. Time to move to weak map. We already had a map, and now the time for weak map. A weak map in JavaScript is a collection where keys can only be object or non-registered symbol. It allows values of any type and does not prevent the keys from being garbage collected, while it's making its value eligible for garbage collection when their keys are collected. Okay, weak map. New weak map iterable. It is an iterable JavaScript object that implements the iterator method. It contains two elements where first is the key, second is the value. In this example, the myGeeks function create a weak map, lose map, sets object as keys with name, assign values, check if it has specific keys, output the map and check for the presence of RAM. Okay, function mygeek. Let lose map equal to new weak map. Okay, so we are defining a variable by initializing the weak map in it. Okay, let ram is equal to a name, Raj name, Rahul is name, lose map dot set. Okay, we are setting ram as ram, Raj as Raj, Rahul as Rahul, console.log lose map. Okay, console.log lose map dot has ram. So what we done here, we are defined a variable that holds a name, and then we set the name of the variable with its value. Why we are using weak map? Where keys can only be objects or non-registered symbol. It allows the value of any type and does not prevent the keys from being garbage collected, making its values eligible for garbage collection when their keys are collected. Okay. Okay. So here the keys are object, and I think it is the function feature of JavaScript that the colon symbol automatically translates to this arrow. Let's ask the ChatGPT about this code. Uh, okay. Now the code has few issues that is preventing it from running correctly. Okay. Function my game. Okay. Good. Sometimes I think ChatGPT use 110% of its artificial brain. I think it should not be that way, but never mind. Let's move to next thing. In this example, we create a weak map, loose map, sets an object RAM as key with a value, nullifies to RAM, and then logs loose map at different intervals. Okay, let loose map equal to new weak map, and let RAM is equal to a name, undefined thing, and set RAM as RAM. Okay, and in the ChatGPT example, we already assign the name as Ram in the first try. Okay, and now here we are using dot set method to set assign the value Ram as the stringified Ram. Okay, Ram is equal to null. Okay, console.log loose map. Okay, set time mode function console.log loose map after 300 millisecond. As the reference is removed from the value in loop map are garbage collected. I think the following reading needs an explanation. But first, let me read it in my deepest voice possible. A weak map is a collection of key value pair where the keys are object and values can be arbitrary values. The primary feature of the weak map is that it holds weak references to the keys, meaning if there are no other references to the key object, it can be garbage collected. Okay, it can be garbage collected, but why? Explain. Weak map is a specialized type of collection in JavaScript that store key value pairs. Keys are object. In weak map, the keys must be object. Primitive values like cannot be used as keys. Okay. Values can be arbitrary, which means the values in weak map can be anything. Number, string, array, function, anything, or even objects. Next is weak references. The most significant feature of a weak map is that it holds a weak reference to its key. If there are no other references to a key object, that is, it becomes unreachable in the program, the keys can be garbage collected. This is in contrast to regular map, which maintains strong references to its key, preventing them from being garbage collected. Next is memory management. Weak references help prevent memory leaks. If you're storing temporary data or metadata on an object, that object has no longer exist elsewhere in code. The weak map won't prevent the object from being garbage collected. Dynamic object, but when using weak map, you can dynamically manage data associated with the object without worrying about the manual cleanup. Once the object is no longer needed, it will be cleaned automatically. A common use case for a weak map is to associate data with DOM, DOM elements, data object manipulation, full form of DOM, document object model. Okay, document object model. Okay. So a common use for weak map is to associate data with the DOM elements in the web application. For instance, if you want to store additional information about an element like tooltip or event listener data, you can do this without worrying that this information will be unnecessarily prevent the element from being garbage collected once it is removed from the DOM. Here's a quick example to illustrate. Okay. Tooltip. This is tooltip. Console.log datamap.get element. Okay. Let's have a quiz over it. so we can grasp it fully as much as I could. What is the primary characteristic of key in weak map? They can be of any data type. They must be string. They must be object and are weakly reference. They are automatically garbage collected. Confuse between C and D. C and D. Let's see. That's a good observation. The key point is while keys in weak map object must be objects and are weakly referenced, which means they can be garbage collected when there are no other references. Option D is not entirely accurate. It is employs the automatic collection without mentioning the weak reference aspect. Okay. So the correct answer is C. Must be object and are weakly referenced. Next, in a weak map, the values can be of any data type, including primitive. False. That's correct. The statement is false because the values can be of any type. What happens to the entries in weak map when object is no longer referenced elsewhere in the code? If object is no longer else, it it will be garbage collected. Exactly. Next, which method is used to check if the specific key exists in weak map? Has. Very easy question. Next, weak maps can be iterated over the for each method. I think for no, I we don't use for each. Let me check. Mm-hmm. True. I'm going with true. Pure guess. Good guess, but the statement is actually false. Weak map do not iteration method like for each map for all because their keys are weakly referenced and thus can be garbage collected at any time. Okay. Next, can you explain one use case where the weak map is particularly useful, like storing document object DOM elements? Specifically, tooltips. Weak maps are useful for storing metadata about DOM elements, such as tooltips, because they allow to associate data with an element without preventing the elements from being garbage collected. When it's removed from the document, this helps manage memory effectively. Next, what will happen if you try to use a primitive value as key in weak map? If we try to use primitive value, it will throw an error. Convert to object, it will be ignored. Behave like regular map. I think most probably when things are not working in JavaScript, it will certainly throw an error. And here we go. Weak maps can hold reference to same object, both as a key and a value. Weak map can. True. Weak map can hold reference to same object as both key and a value. Okay. What are two main methods used to interact with weak map and how what do they do? First is has. Checks whether weak map contains whether weak map contains something specific elements or not. And the second method for weak map is I always want to cheat to that, and this is weak map dot set, and I totally forgot what is the next method. What was the next method? Set, has and set, and dot set assigns a value to weak map. Great job. Which of the following statements about weak map is true? Let me permanently disable it. I will pick this element forever. Great. And then now it will never pop up. Which of the following statement about weak map is true? They can have both non-object keys. They are iterable. They do not prevent their keys from garbage. They can be serialized. Okay. The keys are always in object. The values can be anything. They're iterable. They are not iterable. They do not prevent their keys from being garbage collected until it is referenced. I think only C seems likely. Because weak maps does not allow keys to be garbage collected until it is, or as long is it is referenced. It's not garbage, it's garbage. Good. And time to move to next topic, which is just weak set. Okay? But before proceeding to weak set, I just want to request you guys to hydrate yourself, because hydrating oneself is our duty, and we can do many much good to our body if we just keep it hydrating from time to time. So let's hydrate it together. Thanks God for giving me a life, this kind of life, so I can I will be and I am able to make you guys probably understand a thing or two, or at least entertain you. Let's continue. JavaScript weak set. JavaScript weak set is used to store a collection of objects. It adapts the same properties of that of a set, that is, do not store duplicates. The major difference of a weak set with a set that Weak set is a collection of objects, not values of some particular type. Here, parameter object is an iterable object. All the elements of the iterable objects are added to the weak set. Return type. It returns a weak set object. Which means in this example we will create a weak set object and add an element to it. Then we will check if the element exists in weak set or not. We will use to has method and add method. Okay. So we are again defining a variable and initializing the weak set. Next, let object 1, and this is the first object, weak set object dot add object 1. Now object 1 added and has the weak set has object 1. We are again using the has method and we are running the function. So all these things are done inside a function. Okay, great. In this example, we will see the working of weak set function, and also we will delete data using the delete method. Okay, so there's a delete method as well. So can we use delete method with weak map? Can we use delete method in weak map? Let ask. Yes, you can use the dot delete dot key in weak map. This memory entry is associated if it succeeds, it returns true, otherwise it returns false. Good, thank you. Okay, and that is very small topic, weak set. Let's have a quiz about it as soon as possible. Can we block this as well? Let's check it. No, we cannot block this. Okay, so I have to click it once. After that, when we will copy this prompt and move to though. So the first question is, what is a weak set in JavaScript? A collection of key value pairs where keys can be garbage collected. A collection of objects where reference to object are weak, allowing for garbage collection. B would be the right answer, because the collection of key value pairs is the weak map, not weak set. We have already and just learned that. Next, a weak set can contain primitive values like numbers or strings. No, no, false. Weak set can only contain objects. They cannot hold primitive values like number or string. Next is, what is one key advantage of using weak set over regular set? Set for objects instead of primitive values. But the key advantage of weak set is it allows for garbage collection of the object it holds. If there are no reference to the object in weak set, they can be automatically removed from the memory, preventing memory leaks. Okay, which of the following method can you use with a weak set? Add, clear, has. We can certainly use add and has. So the answer would be D. So let's see if a clear method is available for weak map. Can we use Let me remove this. Can we use what? Yes, dot clear method in weak map. No, weak map do not have clear method. This is one of the difference between weak map and map. Okay. Okay, because there's no need of method like clear. So we don't need to remove anything manually. It will be automatically done wherever needed. Next question. A weak set maintains a strong reference. False. Can you iterate over a weak set? No, because everything is loosely mentioned. Okay. Next, which are the following operation not supported by weak? We can add object, check whether an object is, we can delete, and I think we cannot get the size of the weak set. Okay. How does weak set behave when the object it contains is no longer referenced elsewhere? Throws an error. Oh, when no longer. Okay. So this is asking me what it does to that. So it will be garbage collected, meaning it will be removed from the weak set without throwing an error. Weak set allows this for automatic memory management. Weak set can store duplicate object. If it can, why would it be a set? Directly false. Weak set cannot allow duplicate objects. Each object can be added only once. Next, what happens when you try to add non-object values like a number to weak set? Okay. B. I'm sorry. B. Throws and type error. Good. And guys, I think we are done for the day. We have completed the object session, and from the next day we will start the JavaScript function. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. 14. Even if we cover 3 or 4 topics in a day, it will take something around of 3 or 4 days. So we can divide it equally. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you for joining me, and thanks for joining me again. Thank you for being with me on this session. Let's continue and head over to the next day.